All right, welcome back to
All
Off
right,
the
welcome back
Tap
to
this
Off the
week.
Tap. Just hey, keep it in. Fucking keep going with it.
All right, it's
Nah, I'm.
episode. All right, welcome back to Off the Tap. This week is episode 103, and we're doing naughty words from 11 Below Brewing Company.
Dude, I have been waiting. I think I told you this. I've been waiting to try to remit because I black out. We've talked about this. It's more like a gray out because I'm coherent, but I gray out immediately when you start talking. Also at the end, like the little statement that you, if I don't go back and listen to it, I have no idea what you say at the beginning or the end. And the only thing I'm really usually waiting for is the episode number. And then obviously, because I can read a little bit, I can look down at the can and know what beer that we're doing.
Yeah.
But I have been wanting for at least 72 episodes to just not 72, let's say roughly 50, to like try to speak over the top of you and do the same exact thing. Like at first I was just going to mouth it like
Yeah,
um
and just went
but
full
this time
commit.
I just fucking I committed, dude. I was just like, boom, we're doing it.
Just
And
center.
obviously, threw it off a little bit, but I was pretty close. I don't know if you were paying attention. I was pretty close,
It was
right?
pretty close. The problem with it is that there's a little bit of a lag coming back, right?
Oh, really?
So it was like a fraction off on my end, but it was very close.
Oh, that's crazy because like when I see your mouth moving right now, it seems in sync.
Well, yeah,
Not
you're.
like the popular art music band in sync, but you know what I mean.
My mouth's just doing a bunch of like choreographed dances.
My mind is telling me no. No, but that's
Well, no,
obviously that's not really good.
you're seeing it in real time, but it's just like when it's coming back, there's like a little bit of a lag.
I see. I see.
It's like a phone call, where you're like, "All right, you go." No, okay, no, okay, you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, what?
Uh, you,
I'm.
you,
Go
okay,
ahead.
no, yeah, okay.
That actually started to sound like the referee microphones, but 11 below, naughty words, hazy IPA. I also too did we talk? I think we said this in store when we bought it. On the can, it says another hazy IPA. I just
Yeah,
love the fact that they're giving into it. They're
they're
just like,
giving
you know
into it.
what?
Everyone's doing them. There's a lot of
Fuck it.
them. They probably got a lot of them, and they're like, you know what? This is just another one. We're throwing it out there.
Give us the jersey on this one, did you? The stats?
So this is coming in at 6.3% ABVs, and
Wait, did you edit yourself? Like, what was that? 6 point.
three.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't hear the three at all. I was like, what?
I don't know,
Okay.
6.3% ABV and 38 IBUs.
Yeah, that's straight off the can, so this is
Oh,
consistent.
nice.
Is this being as it's another hazy IPA, is it a seasonal or is this a straight up
You know what? Right on cue. We
core?
don't know off the rip, but I'm gonna
Oh,
look that up for us.
for show. We've done a number of other 11 belows, H towns.
Um, we have. I don't know exactly
We
which
have.
ones. We
Do they
have.
we have what is that from? What is that
Ooh, I don't know.
from? Oh, remember the stand up Angela Johnson? You remember the stand up?
No, I can't say that I do.
When she's doing she's going to get her nails done and the woman's like you have boyfriend, she's
No.
like, no, I don't. You honey, you want long nail or short nail? She goes,
Oh,
I'll take the short nail, honey, that's why you don't have.
yeah.
But anyway, 11 below, they do the mini boss, right?
Yes, and the mini boss
Ah,
is a good one that I like.
that's their staple IPA. That's why this is
Yes.
just another one. I wonder why it's called naughty words. Any indicator online?
Is there a story on the can there? Do they do that at 11 below or
They do
no?
not. They do not. They just let their branding speak for itself.
Okay,
I
well
mean,
we're gonna
listen,
find out.
it's not super hazy. Also, I mean, as far as color is concerned, also a little light, don't you think?
Yeah, it kind of is.
It's very light and not hazy at all. And I didn't roll the can or whatever the fuck the particulars are that you're supposed to do with something like that.
Okay, so I'm trying to get to their website. Right. Oh, here we go. Okay, never mind. We're
Whoa,
golden.
you got it?
Yeah, we are golden. Oh yeah, we've done a couple. The little
Oh, you had to
snack
pull
we
up. You had
did.
to pull. Oh yeah, the little snack.
The
You had to
Dublin
pull
Me
up.
Luck.
Yeah, dude, they got some hitters. You had to pull up the spreadsheet, didn't you? The master log.
No, I was getting an error on the website, but I think it's good. I don't see it even listed on their website though. So,
Have we been duped? God damn it, Bing. I don't get it,
uh,
dude. This is like 80, this is at least 60 weeks in a row. And I've changed the damn. Anyway, sorry.
they just have so many like they got an oatmeal stout called We Be Pubbin'.
Ooh, I don't know how I'd feel about that, but they do have some pretty cool names.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not listed on their website as anything, so maybe it's
Shite.
something newer.
Ba-ba-ba.
Um, but yeah, we've also done their Oktoberfest, and didn't we do the Taco Tuesday as well on here?
I think so, dude. Yeah, we've done a lot more of them than
I
I.
think we
Sorry,
have.
11 Below.
I
Um,
think we have.
yeah, we've done the Oktoberfest, the Little Snack, the Dublin Milluck, Taco Tuesday. We did the Oso Bueno too. Oso Bueno.
Did we do the Taco Tuesday?
I, I maybe. I don't know if we did or not. I used to have a teacher. Did you? You might have had him too. I had a teacher in high school that we used to laugh so much because when he would get very aggravated, that his pitch of his voice would get high. Dude, so like he would just be yelling, but he'd be like, "You guys just don't get it, do you? You just don't get it, do you?" I was like, "How can he get so high when he's so mad?"
Oh
Anyway,
my god, that's incredible! It's like that episode of Family Guy,
uh,
where I think it's Stewie, just like progressively gets higher pitched the more he gets
oh
mad.
yeah, um, rotating IPAs. Maybe that's what it is. It's a rotating IPA, limited
Mm,
releases. Yeah, We Be Pubbin is a limited release. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Have you dabbled in it yet? Have you
I have
taken a little
not. No,
pull?
no, no, I haven't.
Ooh, do it, because I mean there's a lot of there's not a ton to unpack here. This is drinkable AF. Do you get that?
Oh yeah, that's smooth.
Holy shit! Like this is
It's like
this.
we've talked multiple times about like a gateway IPA.
Yeah,
This could be a gateway IPA.
bro. For a second, and this is gonna be very, very inappropriate, but hear me out here. For a second, I thought you said date rape, and I listen, but
Oh,
hear me out. Hear me out, though. This is not. I'm not defending it, but hear me out. It is very passive. Like I wouldn't even
okay.
know that it was an IPA. Like I wouldn't even know there was something in there. You know what I'm saying? Like again, not okay, not okay at all. But I
No,
thought you were going with that. I was like, that's a little offensive. But I'm gonna try to support him here. You know what I mean?
no,
Um,
very much not
and
what I went with.
I feel you, man. I'm not. That's not my thing. I'm not into that. That's not okay. 100%. But it is very nonchalant though.
Yeah, like
The IPA
you don't
ness of
taste
this.
much of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you can see how it would correlate. I mean, obviously you didn't go that route, but you can see how that would correlate. Anyway, moving on. We're probably gonna maybe that's clippable, but it's very drinkable.
Yeah.
I
Incredibly
don't
drinkable.
get 6.3 at all, and then the 38 is well rounded. It palates well, right?
Yes. Um yeah, I mean I feel like uh, are they usually higher than that?
Bro, I don't know, but this is like an IPA for like somebody that, I'm not a super like hipstery IPA guy, like or whatever, but this is an IPA for the guy that bitches about IPAs. Like you can drink this and play along, kind of. You know what I mean?
This is like the buddy that's only about IPAs, would be like, "Well, you could try
Uh,
this one.
yeah, exactly.
Just try
Like
this one, bro. Just try this one."
it's gateway for sure, but I'm saying like if you were just like, yeah, hell yeah, I drink IPAs, you could drink this and not feel guilty about saying that to people. But it is an IPA, so
Yeah.
um, naughty
It
words. I
is
wish there was
it
a story behind it.
it is a little bit lower than other
Excuse me.
IPAs we've done.
Hmm.
Obviously a lot lower than like double IPAs, but uh, I don't think we might have done one more hazy IPA along the route somewhere, but I can't really find it in the spreadsheet here. So
This one's gonna be. I'm just locking in scores here. This one's gonna be difficult because like I am enjoying the shit out of it. But if you follow the letter of the law and you compare it to an IPA, I think other folks would be like, "That's not an IPA." You know what I mean? But I don't
right,
know. You know what I mean?
yeah,
For me, it's gonna be
this is where the system gets messed
it's
up.
rigged. Yeah,
You know, we're
exactly.
kind of it's true. We really
Yeah,
need to perfect this system. Is what we need to do.
we do. We need to go back
We
to the
need to
drawing board.
decide. You know how we're gonna. Is it just what we like, straight up?
I think we can. I mean, I think we were trying to, which I think we've talked about this. I mean, you'd have to go through like 7 different episodes to put the pieces together on this, but
Yeah.
there's no way to uh jumping from one style beer to the next and different style beers in different countries. I don't think there's a way to quantitate success on a specific scale. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least with a human palate. I mean, there's
Yeah.
obviously got to be. I mean, I guess people do it with whiskeys and shit like that, but I just feel like I could have 18 different IPAs from different manufacturers, and I'm going to rate them drastically different and enjoy them completely different, even though they all might be the epitome of IPA or and fill in the blank on whatever else other style of beer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I think we're
It's
just gonna.
hard.
I think we're just gonna have to go. Just switch it up here. Let's just say right now that it's just what we think is like how we're enjoying it.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I listen, that's a hell of a line to draw in the sand 72 episodes in,
Yeah.
but I'm
Listen, we're
down for it.
here.
Listen, if we're
You
not
know,
growing, we're not getting better. You know what I
you
mean?
know what I mean. We're making improvements with ourselves along the way. There's
We'll do it
nothing,
live.
no better growth than personal growth. You
Yes,
know.
these are all could be clipped as corporate cliches. Just
Yeah.
like this one. This is another one I got to throw in there. This is not the topic for today. Obviously, we'll transition into that in a second. But I hate when people are like, "It's a living document. It's living. It's a living document," which means like we didn't ever finish it because we didn't know how. We're just gonna pretend that we should keep updating it as time goes on. But in reality, it's gonna go into a folder that no one's ever gonna revisit, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be a living document. It's a living document.
It's a living
Living.
document.
Okay.
It's there.
It's
It's
there.
alive. It's alive.
So, uh, Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, baby. Ace
Not, well, I
Ventura.
mean, obviously not the first time, but
Obviously
yeah,
Frankenstein, but yeah.
yeah. So naughty words. I still wish they gave us some context. We can't find anything online. At least it's not on the
No.
website. But I wish they gave us some context as to why. Aside from when you drink it, you're like, "Fuck, that's tasty."
Damn, that is good.
Mm.
Damn, that is good. Maybe that's what it was. Oh, here we go. Let's. Yeah, on their Untapped here, they have a little bit of a something.
Give it.
Says we can't. All now this is like starred out, but I'm gonna just guess what. I mean, I'm assuming what it says. We can't always be fucking original, but at least we can be tasty. Brewed at the brewed with a fuck ton of Citra, Simcoe, and El Dorado. This hazy IPA has something for hopheads, IPA snobs, and beer lovers alike. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but how do you? Are there 4 letters? Is that how you know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's not. We can't
Yeah,
always be shitting original. Or I guess they could have done brewed
yeah.
with a shit ton of Citra.
I was gonna say ass because that's kind of, but I don't know if ass is considered profanity. It's weird how people draw the
You
line.
know it
You know?
is. You know what? Yeah, it is kind of weird, right? This can't. It's 4 stars. So, well, it's not
Oh
even
yeah,
stars. It's like the at symbol, the dollar sign, the pound, and the
yeah.
percent.
That's what's on the
What
can.
What do you think the percentage of people now say pound instead of hashtag?
Actually, I don't know, but I saw this the other day. You know what? I can't recall exactly how it went, but I say pound. But I mean, that's just because don't. I don't know. Hashtag takes a while, and also it's a pound sign. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I think it's just like it's just an old thing. You
But
like press
dude, so
pound.
is yeah, but also so is hashtagging apparently. Like I mean, I know people are
Well,
still doing it, but it's still an old thing.
it's an old thing to say it. I think.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like hashtag ad or hashtag hashtag no life.
Yeah, you're right. You can't say it out loud.
That's what it is, I think. But like, I'm pretty sure when people see the symbol, well, at least the Utes, they're saying
I
hashtag, not pound.
I think it was something on I don't remember. They were asking younger folks about something and they showed them and they were like, it was like find the pound sign. And then they were like, "Oh shit, that's a hashtag." And they were like, "No, that's a pound sign." I don't remember
Wow.
what it was, but I was a little like taken aback. I was blown away. Kind
That's
of
when you
like
start to realize, like, oh no, I'm old.
the woman that, or did you see the girl that babysitter that called like in and was like, "Hey, you guys should have like an emergency phone, like an emergency cell phone that's just like stays with your house, like that has power and that always has service, so that like in an emergency."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they were like a house phone? And they were like, no, 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 but like it's a cell phone, but like it stays attached to the house and like it can't lose signal and it can't lose power. And they were like, yeah, that's a
Like a
landline.
landline.
Yes.
Like, what is that?
And she was like, you're not hearing me. You're not getting this. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of how the hashtag was. But
It's
yeah,
also,
so
but while we're on that real quick, I kind of, because I mean, we were growing up, I guess, we still had the landline with the wire on it, right?
mhm,
You could only go so far.
yeah.
And eventually we upgraded and got the wireless one. But I always kind of missed the wire. There was something about the wire, you know?
Well, the issue with not having a wire is we had like we had a couple of different versions of the wireless. I was actually talking with somebody about this the other day, but the first wireless that we had a bad tendency to fucking die. Like
Oh
the
yeah, the
phone
battery was
itself would
dead.
die. Yeah. And so yeah, it would be dead, and so then it's useless to you. So we would have another one. I don't know if you remember this, but we had another like small corded one. I mean, short cord, dude. That fucker couldn't have been but like 18 inches.
You got to get your head down to the
Yeah.
down
And
to
so
the phone.
when the cordless version would die, we would plug that one in so that nobody missed a call, but you'd have to be on
Yeah.
the little short cord. We had one with a longer cord for a while. We never had like those Midwestern extremely long cords, like the ones
Napoleon
you see on
Dynamite one.
TV. Yeah, like a 80-foot go into the basement cord. Um,
You just
we never
know
really
that
had that.
you just know that at some point a sibling was on the phone and the sibling came by and unplugged it from the
Oh yeah,
and they were like,
thousand
"What
percent.
what happened? Hello?" And they go out there and it's just hanging on or just dangling on the ground.
We I don't know if you remember this, but we had a separate line. You know that? Do you know that?
Like in the house?
Yeah. By
Did
the
it run
time,
to a room?
yeah, it was split. So we so I mean, you probably had a cell phone by then, but we had a separate room, a separate one that ran to like your room,
Yeah.
and then it was split to the front room.
Oh, okay.
Not like the old like my old room kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the corner. Um, yeah, and it was the same line, but there was a receiver in both rooms.
Oh, okay.
And so
I
basically
do
only
remember
one of
seeing those, but I don't think
yeah,
they were working by the time I was.
only one person, I mean, obviously the line was shared. So like one person could use it at a time. And that was to free up some of the traffic on the home phone that was in the because at that point, I mean, I think maybe cell phones were like they were carrying not us, but like mom and them were carrying cell phones, I think at this point.
Yeah.
But there was a time where like that was at night that you couldn't be on the main line because somebody might have called. Not that people fucking that mom and them wouldn't have been talking on it anyway. It was like
No.
9 o'clock at night. Like I don't understand why that was an issue.
Time to get off the phone. What?
Yeah.
What? So you can sleep?
So that you could maybe wait for somebody to call and beep in. We had call waiting, I believe. I think.
I don't know.
Um. Anyways, that was a trippy thing. Yeah. Anyways, that separate line. And the reason I remember that is because I remember putting it in. It was sketchy as hell. It was like
Oh,
snake season underneath the fucking house, dude. Just
oh
sketch.
God,
Anyway, naughty words.
that is
So I
sketch.
like a couple of things here. One, they're like, hey, we aren't saying that we do it the best, and we're not saying that we're original with it. We're just another hazy IPA. I like it. I like
Yeah,
the concept.
screw it. You know, we're throwing another one out there.
Speaking of naughty words,
Yeah,
I love when, oh man, the burps are heavy
that's good.
in a good way.
Yeah.
Speaking of naughty words, what would you say? I think everybody who uses potty words, actually, we have learned this because we have children. We call them grown-up words. They're not bad words. They're not naughty words. They're not
Mm.
dirty words. They're just grown-up words because
Only
you
grown-ups
know
can say them.
correct. Like, and that kind of helps separate. I'm not saying that you should just be as profane as possible in front of your children with your language, but
Yeah.
it helps them navigate when they hear something. They don't just alert to it. They go, oh, like they're an adult, they can use the adult word. It's not okay for me to use the adult word,
Yeah,
but like I'm familiar enough with them to know that that's okay for them to say it
but
and
not
not me.
me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know. I
yeah,
I don't I use them in a lot of situations where I like get loose, you know.
yeah,
Especially after like a couple beers, I'll slip some out every now and then, but I really don't like to use them.
yeah. Really
Um, yeah, I just
depends on what
it
I'm talking about.
yeah, I mean sometimes it just feels really unnecessary. Sometimes it's necessary though, you know what I mean? Sometimes
I
you just
feel
got
you.
to let one out, you know, and in a moment of rage, which comes a lot of time behind the wheel of a car or in a
Yeah.
vehicle when someone cuts you off or someone's tailgating you or, you know, or the best part is when
I mean,
someone's tailgating you and then drives up in front of you and cuts you off and still gets stuck in front of the same car, like the same, you know, the same traffic. And you're like, yeah, dumbass.
yeah, I just think, we don't always have the flexibility to pull a Kevin Bacon and to flash dance our anger out in a barn while we're throwing hay.
Yeah.
We don't get to shadow box it out like Hot Rod did, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So sometimes you just got to be quick to the point, profanities, boom, get it done.
Yeah. Sometimes just a quick one, you know, just get
I
it out of
think
the way.
mine aren't necessarily ever used in a negative. I don't feel like I use them a lot negatively. It's just when normally it's when I'm showing passion about something in a positive light.
Yeah.
You know what I
I get,
mean?
you know, that's it. That's what I'm saying. It's just one of those things that just like they just slip out, you know, like
Yeah.
it just depends on the conversation. But like if I'm being like thoughtful about it
Uh,
in my
okay.
conversation, then I don't do it. But like in those
Yeah.
moments, you know, I just shit. Also,
Okay. So,
when I try to force it, when I try to force saying it, like when I was reading that thing earlier, it just
oh
doesn't sound
shit.
natural.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. But that brings me to a good point. So, like, okay, so you wouldn't say that you have a favorite. What would be to put you on the spot here? What would be the one that you would use most often, even if it's not a favorite per se, because you're not wired that way? What would be the one that you use most often?
When I use most often,
Yeah.
probably.
The F word.
No, I
No.
really don't like that one. I try not to do that one.
Okay. Okay.
That one
Okay.
feels really aggressive. Like I feel really German when I say that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real harsh.
Hmm.
No, it's probably either like ass or shit. You know? I would say probably just based on most of my conversation in my life, it's probably shit, right?
Really? Dude, that, okay. So for me, that's on my list because my follow up to that is like, what is one that you don't use? I'm not going to say that you should, but what is one that you don't use that you just don't think about?
You don't think about shit very much.
I use shit very rarely. like unless I'm referring to something specifically like as shit, like I
Yeah.
don't. Okay, let's put this in concept. I mean, put it in context. Like if I am doing something and like you forget, like you're doing something and you're like, ah, like normally
Yeah.
people are like, ah, shit, you
Yeah.
know.
That's
I
when I say it
I
most of the time.
I will never. I will probably go to the F word.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
The S word, if you will,
Yeah.
doesn't doesn't it doesn't flow for me. It doesn't fit. There's not a comfort. Like I don't even like. I don't know. It's weird. And the reason I say that is because I know some people that use that, more frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That one's like only if I'm referring to like something like the horse shit or like
Yeah.
bullshit or whatever. Like I don't. I'm not necessarily ever just using it like
Yeah. No, yeah.
yeah,
See, I use it in all those tenses, all those
yeah,
ways. And mainly, it's mainly in that situation where I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot. But that's what I've been trying to switch it from shit to shoot a lot. And
yeah.
usually I can
Well,
catch myself in the situation where I'm like, ah, shoot, you know?
I feel like I would do. I think I do say shoot sometimes. Also,
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm editing on purpose, but I do that. Just like I'll be like son of a, and that'll just be
biscuit.
it. Yeah. Well, I won't even say the bit. I'll be just like son of a. Oh,
Yeah, and they just
that.
don't say anything. Yeah, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the intent's still there. The kids will correct me on that. What this actually happened today. I was like, I don't remember what it was that I said, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it was with the intent of being bad, but I didn't actually use the word.
Yeah.
However, they heard it as the word and they were like, wait a second, you know? Um,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be saying that, Dad.
Yeah, basically. And I was like, I mean, first off, grown up word. Second, I didn't even say it. But then because they knew like it was used properly in context where it should have been the
Yeah,
bad word, and they were like, yeah, you didn't say it, but like you're basically still guilty because the
yeah,
intent was there kind of situation.
yeah.
And
Right.
and then immediately they were like, well, could we say it? And I was like, no. And they were like, well, you didn't technically. And I was like, listen, too many fucking loopholes here. Let's get out of this. We are, and then obviously,
Yeah, too many red letters here.
yeah,
Too
I
much
had to.
fine text.
Yeah, I was just having to like to justify my actions too many times, and I was obviously in the wrong, so I was nervous. Anyway,
Real quick before we get back on to this subject, do y'all do the cuss word jar?
no,
No. Yeah,
I
no.
don't know
I
what that
feel like
is.
that's a trend that has died out.
Was that ever a thing? I don't remember that. Was that a
Well, it wasn't
trendy?
for us, but I know that it was like I had heard it or seen it quite often, and I just feel like as humanity has grown, it's like people are like, bro, we're gonna cuss it, you know.
What is it? You put a dot like for is this for adults or for children or what is this for?
No, yeah, like every time you're around the kids and you say like a bad word, you put $1 in the jar or whatever it is. I mean, obviously back in the day it was like a quarter, you know.
Yeah, but who ends up with the cat? Like, was this just a savings program for myself? Like, do I
I
get it
think
back
it
later or?
no, I think it was like a situation where you would like at the end of the year it would be like added on to the kids like Christmas gifts or something. You know,
Well,
or like a birthday gift, like you could add it to a birthday present.
well, I'm gonna say again, I'm not it's not terrible, but I mean, I would say even at a quarter a pop, that's gonna be a pretty fruitful holiday season for my children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Especially with some of us, you know.
yeah. I mean, no, we don't do that by any means, but I mean, we don't go crazy with it. There's certain ones that I would obviously say in certain context, maybe telling a story or something that I wouldn't
Yeah.
share with my children. But yeah,
You asked me if there was one that I could use or that if I used more, right? Like I feel like I could, you know. It'd
it's
probably
hard in your and real quick though, in your mind, it's hard because you know there's not
to
really
like
a
justify it.
justification to,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's
it's
an internal
very
struggle
yeah.
that's playing out real time. You're like, if I had to, if I was forced. Well, I mean, not if I was forced, but like if I decided, if
Yeah,
it was better
yeah.
for me, shit,
You know what?
huh?
Yeah.
Good.
If there was one that I could do that I could do that I could maybe see myself doing
Yeah,
more
that I
often.
needed maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, one that I needed more.
It's not
Maybe
it's not a resolution. We're not gonna say you gotta squeeze in 15 more shits throughout the year or something like that.
Hey,
It
maybe
was
you
a
should
bad word
though.
to do that
Good for
with,
your
but
colon
damn it.
health. Colon
Yeah,
health. You
not
should probably
not
do that.
that, but
Um, no, and I mean this stems from our sister because she likes to do the old mother bitch,
bitch. Yeah, mother
right?
bitch. But the thing
And I
is,
don't. I obviously like I don't like calling people that, but like
oh yeah.
that word to me is extremely hilarious, and I don't know why.
Well, she also doesn't use it. It's not like she's like calling somebody a mother bitch.
Oh no no no.
It's just in general.
That's our sister's. Oh shoot.
Yeah, it's a profanity that's just arbitrary
Yeah.
in no particular direction of anyone. It,
Right.
it could be she could stub her toe and be like, "Mother bitch,"
Yeah.
or the
Exactly.
phone would ring and like sure, it would drop service and it would mother bitch.
Mother
But
bitch.
yeah, I don't know. I think that one's fairly harmless, especially because it's not done in any particular direction.
No, yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying is like, if I had to pick another one to use more often, that would probably be it.
Yeah, like if you were forced.
Yeah, gunpoint, you know.
Yeah, it's so weird to
Gun to my
think.
head, if I had to pick one, that would be
I
it.
the reason that I brought it up is because I saw it on your face. Like in my mind when I was thinking like if I had to use another one, like you had to pick, there was no going back. Like mutually,
Yeah.
like yeah. Yeah, it's hard in your face. I could see it because I had
It's
the same thing go through my mind. How
yeah.
about not using any of them? I don't need to use any of them any more than
No,
any
yeah,
others.
no.
You know
We
what I mean?
don't need to use any of them as humans, but we do. Um Also, I don't know if we've talked about this or not. Um who decides? Who des- who decides that they are curse words?
There has to be something that roots that in, but I don't know if I've actually ever researched that.
Cuz like I mean, obviously like they can be harmful if they're pointed towards someone, I guess. But like so could really any like if I called you a loser, that's harmful, but that's not a cuss word.
Yeah, I know. I think there's a bunch of ways to be like terrible. I know. I was gonna make the joke when we were like naughty words. What's a naughty word? Like probably the most aggressive one you use, and I was gonna be like electric vehicles. But no, I think there's a lot of you're right. You could be terrible to people without using profanity. I don't know what it is, and honestly, it's a very difficult question to Google. Like,
Yeah.
what makes first off, I Googled what makes profanity, and Google finished it and said profane. And I was like, it's kind of like defining a word. All right, we'll go down that rabbit
Yeah.
hole. And it was just like vulgar terms that are offensive. And I was like, no shit. Like, I know what that is. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm
See,
working on it.
look. See?
Yep. I know what that is, but what words? I don't know.
I just don't
If
know
it like,
who sat down and was someone just casually at a table dropped an F-bomb and someone was like, "Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
ooh,
What are we being profane for here?" And
yeah, I don't know.
everybody was like, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, you shouldn't say that." What, you know what I mean? What was the deciding factor there?
I don't know.
I've thought about that a few times in my life, and I never have gotten an answer. Is it the aggressiveness? I just
So that's the thing too. Like, thank you, Google, for being so insightful. But it's whether or not it's offensive is context dependent, according to Google. The
oh
F word, by the way. If you're using it to give your ideas more emphasis or to lighten the mood, it's significantly less offensive than if you're using it to describe or to yell at someone.
well yeah,
Thank you. AI
clearly
must have got Google. My AI
that's
must have got in on that for them, but
what is you should Google what is common sense because that's what that was. Uh, yeah, I've just always thought that. I don't know, so that's interesting.
I think a lot of it, most of them are related to, they're most of them are sexual in nature or have some underlying sexual connotation. I think. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of different things, but
Guess.
nonetheless, yeah. I mean, I think they're just people are like they're just words. They're just words.
I mean,
But
some
in
people, but
context,
like, God, if our grandparents would have ever heard us say one of those,
no, I know. I mean, I get it, but
they were hard on it.
this is I don't.
I just never got it.
Okay, this is good. The first recorded. Okay, what was the first cuss word and who invented it,
Oh
dude?
God, I don't know.
This is worth an entire episode in and of itself. Okay, now this is just according to like the AI feed on Google. Okay,
Okay.
but as long as there's been words, there have been impolite words. Okay, the first recorded, right? For example, was in the 11th century. It might date back to the 11th century when it popped up in the Antwerp London glossary. And the word is fart. By
Fart.
Pistachio Fiarting. Yeah,
Oh, his
that
last
would.
name was Fiarting.
I don't know. I think it Pistachio just means Fiorting, which is fart. If that's the case, that would make fart potentially the oldest known rude word. And honestly, I'm not even mad at it. Like that is
Oh,
spot on to be
that's.
expected. You know what I mean?
You know what though? A lot of people do think that like fart is
Yeah.
rude. Like
And
you shouldn't say
I
like I farted. You should be like, oh, I pooted or I tooted.
yes, yes. You're right. And now we know why, and that's because it's the root of all evil, apparently. Yeah.
So someone farted and they were like, that was demon work right there.
Good God, the devil himself has shown himself.
Oh man, could you imagine? Someone was like, "Oh, he farted," and everyone turned at that guy and was just like, "Oh,
Smells like death and remorse in here. And just
oh
immediately.
God." Oh, that's actually
Um,
hilarious.
yeah, so that's the OG F word, honestly, if you think about it.
It really is. Next time people tell me not to say the F word, I'm gonna be like, "You're right. Sorry, toot."
Toot.
You know that is
Is
that. Oh,
heck.
that's great. What the heck?
Heck is generally not considered a bad word or profanity.
Oh, what the f? You know?
I like that. Somebody Googled does is the S word in the Bible, to which the Bible never uses anything equivalent to the S word. Mm,
Hmm.
yep.
Interesting. All right. So, is there a word that you use most? Did we already go over this?
Yeah, I think mine would probably be the F word.
Okay. What about if
Mm.
gun to your head had to choose another one?
I think shit would be fitting. I don't use it enough. I mean, not that I need to incorporate it more, but I think I could sub a lot of the F's probably with
The F's,
S's.
the F's for
Yeah,
S's.
yeah, I could water it down a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but I still
It's
use like I still, I still use crap.
oh
Like, dude, to
yeah.
me, that's oh crap. Like, dude, that to me is just as fulfilling. I think there's a certain fulfillingness to using one as well. Like if it gets the point across to you or you feel satiated in the moment with your anger,
Right.
crap does that for me a lot.
Yeah. I do crap sometimes as
Yeah.
well. You know what's hilarious to me is sometimes when I do the swipe to text on iPhone because it's easier for me
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and I'll swipe out holy and then I'll swipe out crap and it'll say holy carp.
And you know what? The image that I immediately get is like him showing up in the full. I don't know what it's called, but the full priest collar,
Yeah.
like this.
Just fins out.
Holy carp!
Holy carp! That's funny to me. So it's annoying in the moment, but then like you say it out loud and you're like, that's pretty funny, you know?
Oh man, and you can use that kind of like like other words that became popular because people just said them, you know, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
profanities. But holy carp,
Yeah.
um, that's the new son of a biscuit. Holy carp.
Son of a biscuit. Um, Going back real quick, because you were talking about how, the kids will be around, they'll be like, you're not supposed to be saying that. But how hard is it whenever just in passing or like randomly, a child just drops one, and you have to, as an adult with a sense of humor, hold yourself together and not laugh at the fact that this little gremlin voice just said, a word they're
A
not supposed to
profanity.
say, and how funny it kind of is, and have to discipline them and let them understand, like, oh no, that's an adult word. You know what I mean?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. We do a pretty good job of it, of saying like, hey, that's a grown up word. You shouldn't say that. But the thing that makes it even funnier is that I always was prepared for them doing it like on purpose,
Yeah,
like just being like, oh, like
trying to get
shit,
away with it.
and then giggling. Like, I
Yeah.
guess I just assumed in my mind, but they don't. They use it at the proper time in proper context.
Yeah,
And that's what's so crazy about it. Like,
that's the
for
hardest part about it, I
instance,
think.
yeah, it is. Like Elliot will be like the first time that I remember, and it wasn't even to the point where like she caught it or knew it, or maybe she was still discerning between like what is an adult word and what isn't. It was just something she had heard. But
Yeah.
like she just got up and she was leaving the couch. She was walking towards the kitchen and she dropped a cracker and it fell and she kicked it and she was like, "Oh shit." And then she picked it up. You know what I mean?
See,
And by the way, not unaware that anyone was watching the conversation, like watching the situation. She wasn't communicating with anyone. She was just, that was what you
and
do.
just in her moment.
Yeah. The same way, like one time she dropped something off of the stairs and like it slid through the railing, and she was like, she was like reaching for it and couldn't reach it, and she was like, "Damn it," you know, like just
Yeah.
as a filler. But yeah, so it is very, very difficult. But I think it's just because I think it would be a lot easier if they were just like ass, you
Yeah.
know, but
Exactly.
they're
Because then
not.
you're like, no, that's not funny.
Yeah, you
You
know
know?
better, don't do it. But they are using it in proper context, in real time, not even to be, um,
Like
controversial or not
silly
even.
or try to
Yeah,
get away
no,
with it. It's
it
just
is straight up dang. And which again, I don't know if that's healthy, but that makes it a lot more difficult to discipline because you're like, I mean, they're not wrong,
yeah, to me it's so funny. Like
Oh yeah,
when, if they like drop food on there and then they're like, "Damn it." And I'm like,
yeah.
"Dude, cuz I'm mid bite and we're eating too, and I'll be mid bite and I'm like,
Because I think
trying not to, and then be like, "No, dude, you can't say that," or "No, you
I think
shouldn't
it's
say
because
that."
it's a very grown up, not grown up. It's a very like it's not because it's childish, but it's a very mature thing to just hear organically come through them. Again, I don't think it's great that it's happening, but
No, yeah,
ours
clearly
don't.
they shouldn't be doing it, but
Yeah, but I don't think that. I mean, maybe they are doing it at school. I mean, let's hope not. But I mean, no one's brought it to our attention or anything like that.
well, the thing about it is there probably are kids at school doing it.
Oh, 1,000%.
But I think everyone can attest, unless you go to like Catholic school or like church school somewhere. Like if you're in the public school system, you've heard another peer say something they're not supposed to say at almost any grade level.
Oh, 1,000%.
So, whether it's from school or from wherever, I think it's one of those things where also they're not like, at least typically, not like looking at somebody and being like, "You're a bitch." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like clearly that's a situation where it's not going to be funny and you're like, "No, dude, like go to timeout or something."
No, a
But
1,000%. Ours don't do that.
no, yeah, no, that's a completely different story, but it's so hard for me to be like really quickly be like, "No, dude, like you can't, don't be
Yeah.
saying that," when it's just in the moment, cuz I'm trying so hard not to laugh in my own right.
An example. So I always, I'm always constantly picking on Katie about the dog. And so whenever I'm going to go do yard work, if I'm going to be out there working, then I will go quote unquote pick up the dog shit. Okay,
Yeah.
that's how I'll refer to. So that's where I do use that. So, it's kind of like, I'm not going to say it's a game, but we're out there doing something. I don't know if we were setting up there. We were setting up the water slide or whatever. They had some friends coming over, so we are going out there to tidy up. And Finley was just like, you know, in this one area where we're gonna put the slide, he was just like, "Look at all these dog shits. We gotta pick up all these dog shits." And I was like, "Hey,
Dude.
back off a little bit on that." But
Yeah.
in context, it made sense, and that's because obviously it heard me refer to it that way. Was it
Yeah.
funny? He wasn't thinking it was funny. He was like, "This is what stands between me."
And my
Between me and
slide.
getting my water slide set up. So I need to double down on these shits here. I got to pick them up. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so things like that where you're like, hey, it's gotten to the point. I don't want to say it happens frequent. It's very frequently. Like it's a rarity that it happens, but when it happens, it's almost like, hey, come on, don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
don't say. Let's
You
phrase
know
that
better.
differently. But you're not in like trouble. I'm not going to be like, oh, you can't do that or whatever. Like, it's just a hey, phrase that a little bit differently, like you would do with anything. I think of it almost kind of. I mean, they don't use obviously the F bomb or anything like that, but
Yeah.
I kind of think of it like having they get confused sometimes with tenses, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like, did you
Like
eat it?
past tense. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, 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 stop. That's ate. Have you eaten, or did I already ate? It depends.
Yeah.
It's obviously the English language is difficult, but that's how we kind of correct that situation, as if they're using the wrong tense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Using the wrong word essentially.
yeah. For instance, like if he's like, yeah, I already shitted. I'd be like, no, 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 sir, that's shat. That's the no. I'm not talking like that. I'm just saying we
No.
correct it as if it were a tense issue. You know what I mean?
And
Like with their
then and then
language.
and then she shat on a turtle.
Shat on the turtle.
Yeah. I'm just it's very hard for me. I've seen kids out in public that have randomly done it. You
Mhm.
know, it's yeah, I don't think I've ever actually heard a kid maybe like once or twice say the F bomb.
Yeah.
But that's a really cuz I feel like even kids hear that one and they're like, "Whoa,
Well,
that's rough."
that and also there's not a place where contextually that makes
Sense.
a lot. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
So
Not at
it's
all.
hard for them to use that one functionally the way that it should be in normal conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I can I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Speaking of seasonality, go ahead and divide the room here.
Yeah.
You guys love my segues.
Listen. If you're watching the video, you can see right now in the background of my camera, I've got a nice little jack-o'-lantern guy up. Um, I realize it's only September, okay? But as this podcast is live, this episode is live, it is Friday the
Doing it
13th.
live.
It's Friday the
Uh,
13th, and we're close enough. Now listen,
bro,
I'm a
close
big
and
I'm a big Halloween guy, okay? August, there should not be any Halloween things out in the stores. Okay.
okay, but September 1st, it's fine.
No, no, I'm not really September 1st either. But I'm just saying in this special situation this year, right now, it's Friday the 13th. We're not getting another one.
Yeah,
It's
there's maybe not this year, but there's like five of them every year.
yeah. Well, I don't think we're getting one in October though. You know what I mean? Like last year, I think there was like three, but we're not
So
getting
you're gonna
another one in
celebrate
October.
Halloween in April when the one lands on a Friday then?
No, dude, no. But we're close enough, is what I'm saying. It's close enough. It's a Friday the 13th. We're doing it. It's time. I've already seen Halloween decorations getting put out. It's time for it. I'm a big fan of Halloween decorations, so I'm kind of all for it. But I don't agree with stores putting it out too early. You know what I mean? If you already have stuff, you can put your stuff that you already have out. But I don't think we should be buying more stuff yet.
Yeah, I'm just a hardliner on not decorating for anything. So that's a
Yeah,
problem
you
first for
just
me.
yeah, you're just
Second,
you're the Scrooge of every holiday.
I just don't. No, no, no. Listen, I'm a big fan of the holiday itself. I just don't believe in decorating. But aside from that, I feel like people are starting to Halloween. They're starting to Christmas. Halloween is the issue, dude.
Yeah, it's
Like
starting to get put out
we
too
had shit
early.
in our neighborhood like August the 2nd. They're just like, fuck it, putting the pumpkins out. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, it's obviously 1 billion degrees still. It is
Yeah.
summer,
I
hot and heavy.
So I think that's the other problem is right now we've been hit with a little bit of like a cold front because of the
Dude,
the
I
uh the
the
storms
tropical
in the Gulf.
storm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that's another thing is like right now in my brain it's fall weather because we're
Oh, no,
like
no doubt, no
we're
doubt.
peaking at like 84 high. You
Yeah.
know what I
So
mean? It's really nice.
I was legitimately explaining this to someone today. They were like, "Yeah, it's been like just unseasonally hot right now, so we're kind of miserable." And she was like, "I mean, it's like the mid 80s. It's just miserable." And I was like, "Holy shit, we got it's the mid 80s around here too. It's a
It's
real cool
incredible.
spell. It feels
It's
amazing.
so
It's a
brisk
cool
outside
spell,
all the time.
dude."
I could
It
sit in the sun
felt
all day and not die.
season. It was like I went outside at like 10:30, and I was like, "Oh, come on, what are we? What are you tricking
Yeah.
me?" But
Yeah.
I smoked a brisket today. It felt that kind of fall weather.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
I
yeah.
just was like, you know what? If it's gonna start out 60 degrees in the morning and
Hey,
only get to 85,
win
fuck
in
yeah.
fall,
I'll
baby.
build a
Win in
massive
fall.
fire in the backyard.
Hell
Anyway,
yeah.
uh
Hey,
the,
kids, y'all
the
want to do some s'mores tonight? We'll do it.
dude, I first off, this is a whole topic for a different day, but like, dude, smoking something is the best way to it's the grown man's work from home crock pot. I basically put that bitch on in the morning before work started, and then I went back after work was over, and I was just like,
Mm,
"Yep, still
that's
rocking and rolling."
that's a very valid comparison. Like
Dude,
like incredibly valid comparison.
yeah, it's the grown man's work from home crock pot. You
It
just
really
put it on in
is.
the morning, and then maybe around lunch, if you're gonna take you a little break and
Go
you'll
check on
crack
it,
the
make
lid,
sure
and you're
it's
like,
not
"Okay,
burning.
holding it strong at 250. All
Oh yeah.
right." And then let her rock, let her rip. I mean, she's still
Yeah.
ripping right now because I started a little bit later. But anyway, all that being said, it was definitely fall wet. I thought, I'm not gonna lie, until about 10:30, I was like, man, if it does this shit tomorrow, I'm making a chili. That would be a little too early, earlier than your Halloween start. But dude,
Yeah.
that because chili, you gotta wait for that first like 60 dip. But I mean,
Yeah. Well,
it felt like that.
here's the thing though is that in the mornings it is 60 right now here.
I know
It's like
that's crazy.
67. But yeah, I do
But
agree
the
it's a
thing,
little early with chili. Like chili needs to be like
we've
peaking
done it
at.
again. We have done it
Yeah, you
again.
know what?
But
Let's
go
move on.
ahead.
No, let's move
Okay.
on.
No, you're right. But yeah, the temperature's been great. However, I'm gonna draw the line in the sand. I'm gonna die on the hill. I think that we're Christmasing our Halloween. I know there's not another holiday in between August and I guess that would be Labor Day, right? Labor Day
Yeah.
and well, Labor Day's in September. Yeah, bro, why aren't we respecting Labor Day a little more?
Okay, we talked about this
Just
last
jumping
episode, you know?
right. No, I know that's
No,
not a
no,
thing.
we
It's
talked
not a
about
thing. But
listen, dude, Labor Day is kind of
so you real quick, you just have the presence on your face of the guy that wakes up on July 5th, and they're like, "Yep, should carve a fucking pumpkin." That's
no,
basically
absolutely
what you're
not.
saying.
No, that's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this is a situation this year where we've got Friday the 13th in the about midway point of September. Okay?
Okay, I mean, yeah, almost the 15th.
That's
But
what I'm
go ahead. I
saying.
digress. Go
You
ahead.
know,
Yeah.
we're 6 weeks out. You know, who cares about
There's,
having the
I
Halloween
guess the
decorations
point.
out a little bit longer?
I'm just giving you shit, but I guess the point I was trying to make is that a 13th, regardless of if it's a Friday or not, would never be in the exact middle of the month. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
Well,
ahead. Send it.
clearly,
Maybe
okay.
February. Maybe February. I digress. I take that back. But
Clearly, yeah. Well, yeah. But
yeah, close.
I just think it's time. I mean, I'm already, and again, I think it's the weather also affecting me. Is that
Yeah.
like the weather is just so nice right now? I can get out there and like feel like it's fall. Obviously, it's not going to stay like that, which is very sad for me.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna heat back up a little bit, I think.
it's gonna suck. I'm gonna wake up that day when it heats back up, and I'm gonna be like, no.
Yeah, it's coming pretty soon. There's another storm on the horizon, so
But
I would imagine post-storm. But
I'm not a. I'm very much a no Christmas decorations until after Thanksgiving. There's no
okay,
reason to put them up before Thanksgiving. I think you should celebrate Thanksgiving first and then do Christmas. If you do all that stuff, obviously there's people that don't do that stuff, but I just I'm just a huge fan of Halloween, and I'm ready to get into my spooky movie watching phase of the year here, which I like horror movies in general, but there's something about watching your stupid cliche slasher
Slayers.
movies every
Yeah,
year, like Halloween, Friday the 13th, all, Scream, all the cheesy slasher movies. I'm just ready to get there. And it's
I
not only the fact that it's Friday the 13th, but also just the fact that the weather is really swaying my brain right now, I think.
I'll give you that. I was actually gonna make a little bit of a poke at you know what do we get for Halloween? Because like I know obviously there's candy but there's not necessarily anything that Halloween brings for us. About 50%, maybe growing up, but like 50% of the time it was still hot as hell on Halloween, right? Like
Oh yeah, you would
we're
put
not
your
always guaranteed.
no, you put your costume here in Texas, at least where we're
Yeah,
at in Texas, you're putting your costume on for 30 minutes and then you're taking half of it off because you're sweating underneath. You put your
yeah.
even nowadays you put your costume on to like take pictures and then half of it gets taken off.
Otherwise, like the polyester will melt to your skin
Yeah.
and itch. Boy, does that
Oh.
itch. Anyways,
Oh.
there's that. So I guess for me, like you would see, the only thing I don't want to say it's envy, but like I would look at the famous like what's the big one? Most Halloween movies are in an area where it's truly fall, right? There's no
Yes.
like,
Where they truly experience fall and they
yeah, I want to
have
see
to
a
wear pants and sweaters.
yeah, dude, and like yeah, they're all like bundled up, and they're like, oh, I need like a Texas Halloween shit where people are just sweating their ass off in a fucking
Yeah.
vinyl. The ghost is like,
They're
nah, we're good. You do you,
halfway
bud.
halfway through trick or treating. No, everyone's just wearing t-shirts and shorts.
The Grim Reaper comes to claim you, and they're gonna be dead in like an hour anyway. Screw it. Like it's just naturally gonna
Yeah.
occur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was trying to think of something that we get seasonally that with food or treat or even event or anything. I mean, maybe candied apples or something like that. I, you know what? I used to think of, even as a kid, I wasn't like hugely into like Halloween candy. And you know what it is? I'm gonna say this, and I don't want anybody to be offended, but like I don't know if it was just like a thing when we were growing up or something, but like we got into this phase where like too many fucking Tootsie Rolls, dude.
Yeah.
Like you would get I could bring home a 50-pound sack of candy and fuck 48 of it would be fucking Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
And like I'm just I don't know if they were like
And here's the
cheap
thing. And here's the
or
thing
what the
is,
hell.
I don't mind Tootsie Rolls. I like a good
I don't
Tootsie
either,
Roll.
but
But
you can't
like
eat a
when that's
50-pound
all it is,
sack.
no, yeah, when that's all it is, your gut's just gonna fall to your freaking thighs.
Dude, and I wasn't even uppity. Like I didn't want full bars or like, everybody like,
No,
hey, you
fun
gotta go
size,
here to go.
bite size.
I don't even care about any of that. Like, dude, a
If
Starburst. I'll
if I'm
eat the
being
orange.
if I'm being honest, I don't think I think full bars on Halloween is a no no.
Yeah, you don't get
I
enough
think
variety that way.
yeah, I think no full. I don't think you should go. There should not be a house that's just giving out full bar Snickers. Everything should be bite size. Everything should
Yeah.
be small. I think that makes it more fun. You get way more variety,
I
and
just
you also get to experience that more variety before you feel like crap.
Yeah.
You know what I
If I
mean?
mowed down like a full Snickers, a full Twix, and a full Three Musketeers, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna go for that Milky Way, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I probably would.
if
But I
I
mean, it's
mowed down a fun size of each one, I'd be
oh yeah,
golden.
bro, I could eat
I
50.
would still be hurting, but I'd be more golden.
The thing is, what I'm trying to say is like for some reason in my mind when I think Halloween and I think Halloween candy. Now it's fun with the kids. I will tell you, the past couple of years we've like gone to a neighborhood. I think we've talked about this, and trick or treated, and it's fun. You're walking around the neighborhood and you're taking the kids. It's also fun too because like whether you're dressed up with your spouse or not, like you can see other people and you're like, yeah, what are you, the beast? Ah, you're the beast. You're
Ah,
drinking an
nice.
IPA. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
shit, like that thing. But other than that, I'm just not a huge Halloween. I don't think seasonally enough for us. It's cold enough yet. We never did a ton of Halloween parties. And I like dressing up. That doesn't even bother me if it's creative enough. I like trying to outdo, swimmers and like people that run track. They're always trying to, beat their record. I'm the
Yeah.
same way with like really good couples costumes or personal costumes,
Or
dude.
like family costume. I
I
feel like once you have kids, it's like really trying to get the best family costume going.
Well, yeah, but I would say like our kids, we're in that weird.
Now,
You're
now
right.
they're too
When
old
they,
where they want to do their
yeah,
own
when they,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, when they were younger, we could do what like we sent Finley as Dwight Schrute,
Yeah.
like just whatever we wanted to do. Like we did a um Animal House, like he was the toga party, right,
Yeah.
with the beer
Right.
can and the toga, like
Right.
just cool stuff like that, or Jack Daniels in the toga, like those were great. But yeah, they're at an age now where it's just not a. They're like, I want to be Elsa, and you're like,
You're like, all right, well,
yeah.
we wanted to
But
be the
even when,
monsters, but that's okay.
ooh, good one, good one.
You know.
No, yeah, we've had. I mean, there's some. I think we got some. I think there was one that she sent me not too long back, and I was like, we should actually do that.
Yeah. I was talking with Lily the other day because we were talking about the fact that like once your kids get to a certain age where they can legitimately be like, no, I want to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. They
Yeah,
need to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja
yeah,
Turtle.
100%, hundred
You
percent.
don't need to force them into whatever
No,
costume you want to do. It's their thing. They need to do what they want to do. And that's how it should be. But there's some people out there that are like, no, I think we should be, the Adams family. Like we should do that. That
yeah,
would
we
be cute for
agreed
pictures. Just quit making it about yourself, man. Halloween is about kids. Like the kids have fun.
1,000%. We agreed long ago when they started having decisions, we would try as best as possible to make that happen.
Yeah.
Now, if they wanted to play along, they could, but I don't imagine that happening until like my hope is that like maybe in their high school, which is weird to think about, but maybe in their high school years, I think that would be killer.
When they
Is
put
if
to
it,
do a family thing.
yes, I
Yeah.
think it would.
I think that'd be
I don't
sick.
think there's a lot of folks that are doing that because I think at that point the kid could make a conscious decision that like this is going to be better for the good. Like I'm going to enjoy
Yeah.
it and it's going to be better for the good,
Yeah, I
or
think
they're just not going to
especially
participate.
especially with social media these days,
Yeah,
I feel like kids now are like, "Oh, that'll be a good picture. Yeah, we should do
yeah.
that."
You
You know
see,
what I
yeah.
mean?
So I think that is something maybe that later on in life. Not that I dislike Halloween. I just for some reason I'm programmed Tootsie Rolls. And like we didn't really bob for I think maybe twice or three times I bobbed for apples, maybe. I
I don't think
don't
I've ever bobbed for apples.
It's hard.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous. I think a lot anyone that hasn't done it, I feel like is probably looking at it and they're like, "Bro, come on." Like
Yeah,
but when you think about it,
it's pretty
that's
hard.
difficult, man.
Also, I don't know where that comes from, but yeah, there's certain seasonally there's certain things, and the kids love Hocus Pocus. They love all of the cliche,
Yeah.
um, family friendly ones, and I don't mind them. It's like the Grinch.
Halloween Town.
You
Have
got.
they gotten into Halloween Town?
I think so. Is that the one with the
That's a good
time
one.
machine?
One of them, yeah. Well,
Okay.
kind of. Yeah, kind of.
I forgot. I should have known. Having a connoisseur of terrible films, there's probably a bunch of Halloween movies that you're really, really
Listen, I love
dialed in
almost
on.
any Halloween movie. If it's like,
You're supporting your title, but go ahead.
listen, I'll take it with I'll take it to straight to the face, bro. I don't care. Um, Halloween has just always been special to me because it's in the same month as my birthday, so it's always kind of
Ah,
been it's kind of been like my birthday right into Halloween, and I've always loved it. And so
no,
like I
I did.
think I love the feeling of Christmas and like the family aspect of Christmas and giving and all that kind of stuff, but I think is like the thing I look forward to the most every year is Halloween because I love
We
Halloween decorations. I love to see costumes and I love to see costumes that are creative. I do
Yeah,
not
that's what I
love
was
to
gonna
see
say.
these like if there's one thing on the face of the planet I can't stand, it's like sexy nurse or
Oh yeah,
sexy scream. Or I just
it just doesn't make sense to
do
me.
something fun, man. Do something creative. Don't just
Yeah, I love the super creative ones. I think too for us, like obviously we do a lot of stuff for Christmas Eve. It's not a heavy lift, right? But it's we're prepping for people, we're prepping food, we're wanting to make obviously you're already doing gifts and everything like that, and
yeah.
timing and all that stuff. I think Halloween for us is a less stressful enjoyment because it's like, hey, even if you're not planning, like obviously you got to have a costume for the kids, but like even if you're not planning, it's like literally you just go outside and start going door to door. Like we
Yeah.
plan a little better than that, but it's a low stress, high return, I guess, because the
Yeah.
kids they're happy going door to door to get candy, but they're also happy just seeing other people that are going door to door because they're constantly in costume. It's like
Yeah.
the juice is like a lot greater than the squeeze as far as
Mhm.
preparation is concerned.
You know
So
what
I'll give
else?
it that.
You know what else too is I we never really like at least I never really went trick or treating. Like
All right.
not that I can remember anyways. And that's fine. I mean, I was never huge on candy to begin with, so that never really bothered me. But in movies all the time, it's always like pitch black outside when people are going trick or treating. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's very inaccurate.
It you're right. You're right. But I think that's a newer thing because
Where they're
I
going
do
earlier.
yes, because I do remember as shit, we did it in high school. Like we would have like very stupid and inappropriate, not inappropriate, but like, you would be like Austin Powers, or you would be
Yeah.
like, on the edge of risque. Anyway, and so we would go late at night, like way too late, like to the point where I'm going, what the fuck? Like first off, I would be very angry if people were ringing our doorbell at the times that we were ringing people's doorbells.
And then
And
especially if it was
not
a
even like,
teenager.
oh, exactly. And not even ironically, we weren't even doing it to be jackasses. Like we were just doing it because we thought it was okay. But it used to be darker. I think now you've got the trunk or treats and all the earlier stuff where everybody gets going early. And I don't, at first I thought it was like a safety thing. And I thought
Yeah.
maybe it was because you don't want kids out at dark. I've come to the conclusion that I don't think that's what it is. I think the issue is that everybody's got to go to, they already went to work that day and they got to go to work the next day. You
That
know
yeah, very much that is the
that's what
reason I
it
think
is.
because unless Halloween falls on like a Friday or Saturday, that's exactly what it is.
It's you've
Because you don't
already
get school off, for
nope.
it, which I think
And
is a little
so
bit dumb myself,
you
but
just you've already had your full day. You get home, you get the kids in costume. It's like running a race. You want to finish it kind of as quick as you
yeah.
can because you got to start back over the next day. So that's what I think it is. But you're right. In all the movies, though, it doesn't matter what's going on.
No. It looks
It's
so much
nine
more
o'clock,
fun.
10 o'clock. Yeah,
All the
you're right.
decorations are lit up like
Hmm.
it's like you're saying and all the movies it's like fall. It's actually fall, like it's cool outside, there's a chill. It's night, all the decorations are lit up and spooky looking, all the houses are spooky looking, you know what I mean? And
I
that's
would
just not what we get now, at least here in Texas where we're at.
I would say that it's not like it's we don't force we don't continue we don't stick with routine on Halloween, like we'll let them stay up later, but we're usually back home and getting ready for bed at the time when like now the decorations are lit up and like
Right.
and again we're not doing that on purpose. It's just like we've already done our trick or treat rounds. The kids are already tired, they're already ready to shut down.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is
Yeah,
like the kids are also tired probably,
yeah,
you
we don't
know?
have a ton of but the other thing too is last thing I'll say and then we can wrap it, but I do like this. We will trunk or treat at school, and then we will trunk or treat at, preschool, and then we will, on the actual day, we will do. So they've kind of had their fill. It also gives them the
Yeah,
opportunity to have like multiple different costumes as
right.
well. In case one doesn't function the way that we would like, and we don't feel like walking 90 blocks in that fucker by the time it's said or done.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, it's just, you're right. I also too, I would tell you this one last thing. I do wish that we had more trick or treaters.
Yes.
Because we will get done with our kids, and we will get them home, get them cleaned, and they're just like it was funny because last year Finley was, we came home. I don't even know what he was last year, but we came home. He was a minion.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he was a minion.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're making their own choices. But when we came back home and we bathed and were clean, he was Peter Pan when we were handing out candy, right?
Okay.
Right? But they're just like, the hat and the shirt or whatever. And so I enjoyed that. Like, I wish we would have had more and more trick or treaters, because that is something that we definitely didn't do growing up.
Yeah.
We just didn't have
No.
any trick or
No,
treaters.
we never did. I
No.
mean, I was about to say right here,
And go
but
ahead.
like, is in my 28 years of living at this house, I've had three trick or treaters, and every time
Yep.
they show up, because it's once a year, or like not once a year, it's like one family that decides to drive down. Which I get, our driveway is a little bit
Yeah,
long.
and
It's not
it's
like at
not
the
the
end of the
most
road.
trick or treater friendly place.
No, and I
You got
understand
to
that, but
drive it.
when those kids would show up, I would just take the candy thing out there and be like, take it all.
Dump it.
Take what you want. You know what I mean?
So that we, and not here, but at a previous house, we had a ton. Like, and I'm not gonna lie to you, we were single. We didn't even have kids, and I was just like fucking drinking beer, watching something. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna man the door today, and it was a blast.
Yeah, that's
I
fun.
enjoy the shit out of that because you get to see the different costumes. Yeah, so that if there's one thing that I wish we could do more of, and not have to set, like, once they get up in age, something that I look forward to is them being able to solo a good part of the neighborhood, hopefully, and us be able to man the door. And
Yeah.
later, I don't know, that I do enjoy that more than I think. I didn't realize it until now that I enjoyed that a lot more than I
Yeah,
think.
that's going to be my favorite part, I think. If I ever get, because I just love, like I was saying, I love Halloween, so I love giving that joy to people, and I think I agree,
For sure.
100%. All right, we need to get in the WWIBDs here. Um, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, no, I can go first. Mine's super quick and simple. I don't know if this is for all IPAs, so I apologize, 11 Below. This one's really, really good. But for me, IPAs are, you're drinking it at the brewery. You're at a brewery, or you're with I really don't do IPAs outside of the brewery at all. Like, we're going to have beers, or if I say I'm meeting hey, let's go get beers, like, and it's serious, like you're having a heartfelt conversation, or somebody's going out of town, not just like to dick off with your boys, but like straight up, hey, let's go get a beer. It's going to be something a little bit heavier, and it's going to be at a brewery. Like, I don't even do IPAs at, like, you know, hotel bars or airport bars. Like, it's strictly for the brewery. So for me, this is a brewery beer.
Okay.
You can
Um,
disagree.
no, I mean that's fine. I do enjoy IPAs outside of a brewery. Not super often. I have a couple that I prefer. Um, but this to me is a it's an outdoor at a gathering. It's 78 outside
Mm-hmm.
uh IPA. And I like certain IPAs in like the winter, right? Because I think I've said this before, is like I like stouts and IPAs in the winter because they're a little bit higher in alcohol content, so they warm me up a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of those that I want to more or less like enjoy in the presence of other people without forcing it upon other people. But in the presence of other people, just
Damn it,
enjoying
drink the
myself.
fucking IPA. No,
Yeah,
yeah.
no. But it's just a nice like crisp day outside. Maybe if I'm in the shade, it's a little bit chilly.
Okay.
But I'm just chilling in the sun. There's maybe a fire going. Like it might be just crisp enough. You know what I mean? That's what it is to me because it's really refreshing. It still gives me the IPA feel without it being too much. And so yeah, that's what it is for me. I'm not at a brewery, I don't think, unless I'm like outside and it's
Yeah,
crisp
well, I
out.
mean, yeah,
But
breweries outside. I'm not saying like a pub. I mean like a brewery where there's outside space. You go in, you grab it, and you sit on the porch or something like that. But yeah, I don't know why. And in my mind, I need to break that because I feel like I kind of handcuff myself to the fact that I have to enjoy them there, and that's not a way to live life. But
well, and I'll also say I'm not doing anything. I'm just chatting. Like we're not
just
playing a
chatting.
game. We're not doing any like outdoor games or barbecuing or anything. Like we're just chilling,
Straight chilling. I
just
feel
straight
you.
up chilling outside. There's not. I don't smell a brisket going. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. We're just chilling.
Yeah,
This is a chill beer.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I know this is gonna sound taboo. We can put a pin in this for more corporate speak. Um, but I don't think IPAs pair well with smoking meats. I said it, draw the line,
No,
move on. They
I don't
just
think they
don't.
do. I agree. If you're doing an IPA, or at least in my experience, if I'm doing an IPA,
Yeah.
I'm really not eating anything special in general. I might not be eating it all once I start IPAs.
I don't know, man. A little bit of goat cheese, a boiled egg, and some caviar on top, or a pimento cheese sandwich. Fuck it, we've gone too far. Let's go into
We're
ratings.
getting into food again. All right, I'll do this first. This was almost fives across the board for me. I really enjoyed it. It was delicious. Very drinkable. So entry, aftertaste, I have a five on both of those. Body, I have a five as well. I think the flavor is really good. Color, I have a four. I think it's I mean it's nice and light, right? But I think that's how a lot of hazy
Yeah,
IPAs are, if I'm remembering correctly. And
yeah,
it's not a turn off. It and it invites me in. You know what I mean? It makes me feel a little bit better about it. It also, based on what I saw, at least wasn't super foggy, which I feel like a lot of IPAs are very foggy or very thick.
yeah.
Bitterness, I have a four. Obviously, it's a little less bitter than like a normal IPA. I enjoy IPAs, so I like a little bit more
Hmm.
bitterness. Acidity, I also have a four. It's a little sweet, which is okay. I do enjoy it, but maybe a little bit less. I would have liked a little bit more. And fizz, I have a five. Burps were incredible. I had one that was really good. I don't know if it was picked up on the episode or not, but I had one that was really good, really long, and really enjoyable.
Bro, I listen. I've had a lot of burps, and like, I don't think it's one of those few. We're gonna get real personal here. It's one of those like very rare body functions that I don't remember having a good one of. If that makes sense. Like, I can't go like, oh yeah, now that was a hell of a burp. You know
Oh,
what I
dude, I do
mean?
it all the time. I'm such a like gassy person when it comes to burps that I enjoy them so much. Like it's so relieving. It's so refreshing
No,
almost.
I do too, but I can't be like, oh yeah, dude, Thanksgiving '04, fucking hey, that was
Well,
a burp there,
I'm
bud.
I'm I'm not gonna remember this burp in years to come, but in the moment I remember
Oh,
it. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Oh, for sure. All right. So what you
So
got total?
so my total is a 32.
Whoa.
Not a fridge sitter. Would buy again. In fact, this might be my and I know we're I've already talked about how I'm
No.
excited for Halloween or not, but this might be my Halloween beer if it's cool
This is
enough. Hopefully, it's cool enough.
this is a again, I'm
And
gonna have to
that's
change my ways.
and that's coming from a guy that loves Oktoberfest and usually does Oktoberfest on Halloween.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if we're going 11 below and we're going the most, the only, and I'm not doing this to flatter them, the only IPA, I was actually going through the math in my head. The only IPA that I drink outside of a brewery is Mini Boss.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the only thing that I ever get canned that I recommend to people, that is relatable, that I will go, you know what? That's what I want. I think that has changed now, though, because I would rather this one. So it might not come across as super, super high of a score. I'm actually going to do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I mean, I get you. A hazy IPA is more flavorful, like citrus wise, I believe. So
It is, and it's just more drinkable. Like this one is going to take the cake for me. Like I would now get this one outside of a brewery, as I said that's where I'm going to consume my IPAs over Mini Boss. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing because 11 either way. But no, Eureka Heights is the Mini Boss.
oh, you're right. Yeah, that's right. That's okay.
Now I've created a war, but man, everything we've said has been but yeah, Eureka Heights. And so I usually go with the Mini Boss if I'm going outside a brewery, but I think 11 Below just kind of stepped it up. This was a little more drinkable. Entry. So this is a mix of me going personal and me going to the tune of hazy IPA.
Okay.
So entry, I have a 4. Aftertaste, I have a 4. Easily could have been a 5 in both, but I wasn't like, that's an IPA. And that sounds stupid, but body was a 4. I think it was very full bodied, not significantly above and beyond, but definitely not a 3 at base. Color, I have a 2. I think it should have been darker and it should have been foggier. Would I have enjoyed that as much? Probably not, but you're in hazy IPA, so do as you say, not as you do. Bitterness, I have a 4. Acidity, I have a 4. And fizz, I have a 4. Solid above the mark beer. Like I said, sorry, Eureka Heights, but this is going to overtake the Mini Boss for me as far as drinkability. I will recommend heavily. It's not a fridge sitter, but also, again, not to defend anyone, but I'm not a super IPA guy unless I'm at a brewery. This is lighter and more approachable and more manageable for someone like me. So that's why.
Yeah. So the total is a
26.
All right, perfect. Yeah, no, it was good. It's very refreshing feeling also.
Yeah.
Very, very drinkable. I am feeling it, which is the dangerous part,
Yeah.
right? Because I had a pretty decent dinner and I'm feeling, obviously it's 6.3, so it's a little bit, higher than a regular beer, but I'm feeling it, and that's dangerous because I feel like I could drink like a 6-pack of these. You know what I mean? All right, a couple announcements real quick before we get into the social media stuff. I think we're going to take a little bit of a break here as schedules are just really full, and we kind of need a little bit of a break going into, school has started up. A lot of things are happening. We're going into fall, and things are just getting really busy. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, but try to get some more clips out on social media for y'all if y'all watch or listen to those. So there's that, and yeah, I mean, I think that's really it. But it's time for me to tell you to go follow us on social media on Twitter and TikTok at Off the Tap Pod, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Off the Tap Podcast.
Listen, we all fucking make mistakes. Obviously, I recently made one with Eureka Heights, but unfortunately, naughty words are gonna fucking take the cake.